Those where a lot of times I get to come in and brag about something, but it is just as cold and snowy here. If I get to brag about anything, the overlook of the Smokies is very beautiful when it's dusted with snow. But the locals here tell me, they say, yeah, it won't be here by noon. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I better enjoy it while it's here. So yeah, so I'm moving on along.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Well, you guys will be happy to know that I have my earpiece in today. So, Steve, if you decide you want to ask me a question, I'll be able to hear you. But hey, I'm super excited today, as you guys know.
Wait.
What?
What? Your earpiece.
Yeah, it's right here.
Is it like a speaker?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Look, no, I can hear you great.
I know, and I can hear you great.
I'm proud of you.
You surprised?
Yeah, yes, I am. Very.
I don't even have it on my head, but I can still hear you.
That's what shocked me, and I'm wondering, like, what took you so long to decide?
Well, I kind of engineered a way for me to kind of have a speaker and that you guys won't be able to hear on the air, but I can hear.
Fair enough.
It works.
Okay, you guys will be happy to know. Go.
You guys will be happy. You know, this is a big game in the Hall household. So tonight, I'm really looking forward to the WKU Louisville game. I think the winner, regardless of what side it is, will be rewarded with a top 25 spot.
What say you, Steve?
I agree with Brian. I do think that the winner will probably be looking at top 25 here. Yeah, I mean, it's a game with two teams who have, I mean, they've won a couple games, you know, where you feel comfortable. I mean, Western obviously played decent against West Virginia as well.
What spot on the top 25 or outside top 25 did Western come in at, or are they on that list?
Honestly, I haven't got a chance to look at it. I would assume that they received some votes, but probably are sitting around that 30 to 35 range, if I had to guess.
Would you agree with that, Steve? Because what I want to ask you is, which team do you think would move higher up the ladder with a win? Because Western does have the star power. They did play West Virginia pretty decent. Louisville would be undefeated.
Yeah, but this might be the theme of the show. But Louisville's still Louisville, and if Louisville's 5-0 at the end of this week, like I said, and I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying, right. I mean, because that's a tall test. But if they beat Western and beat UNCG and was 5-0, I think they'll move up to around 20. You know, I mean, I think they'll.
Yeah, and then after Kentucky loses to Kansas, you know, that's going to open up another top 25 spot.
Kentucky is not going to lose to Kansas coming off that win. Coach Cal is known for coaching his guys up off of big time losses, and Kansas just got wasted by Gonzaga. So don't expect Kentucky to lose that game. Texter says, "I love my Cards, but I like WKU plus 4.5. What do you think?"
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an odd show today. Look, this is going to be a de facto pregame show for us today. So, and I am on the post game. So hopefully we.
Man, that means I got three shows today. I got this one, 3-6, and I got the 5 o'clock pregame show. Keep on going, Steve.
You're moving along, man. Yeah. So we got so yeah, I mean, we'll be doing a lot there. But I will say, I mean, today's theme for me is kind of finding the balance of Western's a good team, a very good team with an elite center, an elite first round caliber center. So where's the balance of, you are Louisville though? And you do have good players. And again, we'll talk today. I mean, of course, there's going to be a conversation all throughout the day. Will Hollingsworth play? Will Sam Williamson play? Will they both play? Will they both not play? You know, that they're both kind of, that's two guys that are kind of up in the air at this point. I mean, you know, because it sounds like they're both day to day. So we'll see with that. But I mean, it's kind of going to be the conversation for me, because I don't know. Part of me wants to say, hey, man, this Western team's really good. You know, I mean, 4-point favorite. That's obviously a close game.
Right.
I mean, in college basketball. So, I mean, that's dang near an even playing field. But then I do. The Louisville in me also says, but it is the Western, and you should win that game.
How much of the okay, let me ask you this. In the 4.5 spread, how much of that is going to be a factor? Like home
Well,
team.
I mean, you still have a home court advantage. I mean, even with no fans, because it's a place where Louisville's now played 3 games. They've won 3 games on that court. Mm-hmm. Western played. Brian, you can help me out. I think was it in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, Sioux Falls. Yep.
Okay, so they played 3 games in Sioux Falls, then traveled back, and now they just entered the bubble at Louisville, and so I mean they've kind of been moving around a little bit. Louisville's been pretty comfortable where they're at, same routine, daily routine. What circadian rhythm is there. So, and they've played pretty much game off, and now another game. So, I mean, there is still something to that, I believe, with a home court advantage.
Does it worry you that these young guys, these day recovery guys, will not know how to handle the day off back-to-back tournament style schedule?
Well, no, they're 3-0. I mean, listen, I worried about Sunday. See, a lot of people will looked at Sunday and said, well, I mean, this is just a crappy game. Louisville should win. There's no story unless Louisville wins or loses. Well, I totally disagreed with that. Coming off a Seton Hall game that was emotional, that you had I'm watching West Virginia right now, and Hollingsworth, man, he really can't shoot the rock, dude. Like, they're gonna have to get up in him. But anyways, it's
if he plays.
But oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was going to say on the Hollingsworth thing, he came in after his injury against West Virginia. He came back into the game, but it is a thumb. It could have when you dislocate a thumb, you can pop it right back into place, but there's still a lot of discomfort.
Brian, just say he's playing.
I think he's playing.
Well, it sounds like him and Sam are kind of facing the same thing. I mean, just different extremities, because you have dislocations, then you worry about swelling and pain. And, I mean, we'll see. I tend to kind of lean on the side that they might both play. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think that when they won that game against Seton Hall, it was a close game against a good team. And there was a lot of excitement. You saw after the game when they were in the locker room and they're jumping up and down and they're high-fiving and they're chanting Bardstown and all that, I mean, it was exciting. I was worried, how does this team bounce back from a win like that and then bring it again against a team like Prairie View that you should beat? And to me, they passed that test with flying colors. Because when you come out and Prairie View hits 2 or 3 threes and it looks like, oh man, look, Prairie View's going to shoot the rock tonight. Like, I mean, they're rolling. That's a game where you can get upset. And they didn't. They locked in and ended up pulling away. And I mean, I think they ended up covering the spread on that game. I mean, and it was a 22 or something like that point spread. So I am not as worried about these young fellas with that.
This is a little side note. You brought up Seton Hall, and I was a little worried about the 1-point victory after the Seton Hall game. But to be honest, I watched Seton Hall last night play Iona and Coach Patino, and they looked pretty daggone good. And I felt a little bit better about that 1-point victory after I watched them play Iona.
Since Brian Hall brought it up, I want to know 8150-939 is the number. 3831-939 is the text line. YouTube channel's up and running, made for the Ville. Chris Curry says, Carleek beat Richmond last year. LOL. Laughing emoji.
Is that right? That's actually pretty funny. Richmond brought back all their starters. Wasn't that the thing? So it was the same Richmond team, right? Okay.
Does that joke just keep getting funnier and funnier, Steve?
I wasn't sure.
Okay. So how much did you watch Coach Patino, Brian? How did it feel to watch Coach Patino on the sideline? Steve, I also want the same. Brian, you go first.
It was a little eerie. I mean, obviously, seeing him back in college basketball, but I'm happy for him. I'm like Steve, where I'm going to be kind of checking out Iona every now and then, and whenever they're on TV, I'll probably be tuning in to watch that game. They looked pretty impressive in the first half. Hung with Seton Hall for a little while, and then Seton Hall ran away with it in the second half. But it's good to see Coach back out there. It's good. it's a good spot for him, I believe, with Iona, and I think he'll like it there. And he's kind of finally at that stage where I think he's in his mind been there, done that, and I'm good with staying here for a little. We'll see though. Once they get their first 25 or like first 25 win season, then he might be like, well, but I think it's good. It was fun to see him out there. See him against Coach Willard too, one of his old assistants. So I thought it was good.
Steve, same goes to you. You can answer the question and what do you think the public thought first, or you can just say how it felt for you to see him out there in general.
Well, I think publicly, I mean, I do think it was like, to kind of tag on what Brian said there. I think it was a little surreal to kind of see him back, see him coaching and see him coaching. And I don't mean this as disrespect, because I do think he'll have Iona pretty solid. I mean, because there's a lot of talent up there that he could keep home and make good. But when I say this, but to see him coaching at such a lower level, it kind of, I mean, it's a Hall of Famer. It's a Hall of Famer who's won national titles at Louisville and Kentucky, and to see him with just so a team that was so overmatched. I mean, it was like, man, it was kind of awkward. But for me, I mean, also with Brian, I mean, he said it. I'm kind of rooting him on. I hope he does well. I hope Iona does well. But it does ease the sting because I like Coach Mack, and I think. Listen, Coach Mack was the perfect guy for this job, in my opinion.
And nobody saw him as the guy that replaced Coach Pitino, I don't think. I think it was, like I said, you had the Coach Padgett buffer year, so there was no like bad energy between that,
There were rumors, and I mean, there are nothing behind these rumors that make you feel like that they were true, but I'm just going to throw the out there. People were talking about when Coach Pitino was let go, they were saying there's a few Power 5 coaches that are interested in dropping everything and taking this job right now. And I'm not saying this Coach Mack, I mean, my gosh, he had a team that was ranked in the top 5 preseason that ended up being a 1 seed that year. So I'm not sure he would have just packed up and left. But if he had have, I agree with you, because I think that would have had a dirty feel to it. It would have had a feel like, oh, wait a minute, all right, so Coach P's out now. 3 weeks later, you're in here, you just dropped the team. That makes me feel like this was premeditated, or, instead, it couldn't have really happened much more perfect. And here's the thing. We all agreed, whether you agreed with how Tom Jurich did things or not, we all did trust that he was good AD. Coach Mack was his guy. I mean, and that's why I think we knew, and that's why I said Vince Tyre has, up to this point, has shown us he can go get a good coach, and he pinpointed Coach Mack in this basketball search and went and got him. And Coach Mack has just been such a good fit here, and we love the style, and with this year, the timing of it. With this year being the year where we're starting, where I said it looks like a whole new product, right?
Yep.
It looks like something completely different now. It looks like a Coach Mack team, and we love it right now. It was kind of perfect timing for this, because
I can't believe how different it looks even between this year and last year.
Oh, I mean, even watching Iona last night, you're like, okay. I mean, and there's nothing wrong, because I mean, Coach Pitino took us to Final Fours and won national championships here with this style. And I love it. I love that just get up in them style. But I also love what Coach Mack's doing. And it is a little bit of a throwback to the Louisville styles of old. And I think that was why I say it was just such a perfect fit. So the timing was so good, because I'm watching this last night, and it was one of those where it was like, I see that ex that I was in love with for years, and then she's married. But then I kind of look at my wife, and I'm like, I'm legitimately happy for her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy and you're happy.
Indirectly, kind of what you're saying, I think, is just that had he ended up at a Power 5, where he ended up, we can root for him. And I think majority of Louisville fans will root for him. Had he ended up at a Power 5 school, I think there would be a little bit more of a split between Louisville fans actually rooting for him. It's like, like Louisville and Kentucky fans come together to root on like a Bellarmine, because, we can find common ground there. And it's like, I feel like a lot of Louisville fans are sitting back saying, oh, he's at Iona. They're not really a threat to Louisville.
Yep.
So we can root for Pitino and hope that he does well. Whereas if he ended up at a Power 5 school and he started having some mild success, then all of a sudden, all the Louisville fans, some of them, half of them are going to get a little bitter and be like, man, I can't root for him. I can't have Pitino beat Louisville.
Listen, if I'm going to be completely honest with the public and honest with myself, I needed them to lose one game, and it was last night. I listen, I was happy to see him coaching, but the one thing I couldn't have for my Louisville season this year, just for my overall feeling moving forward, right? I could not have Coach Pitino go to Iona and just waste a Seton Hall team that I've been pumped about beating for the last 72 hours. If he goes to Iona, waste Seton Hall in front of me on my television, I'm going to be mad at him. I'm going to be mad at my school. I'm going to be mad at Steve. I was going to be mad at the world. Right?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But so I literally feel like this. Just that game right there. I was happy to see his kids working hard. I was happy to see he looked like he was in total control. But like I said, the Louisville fan in me right now and all my mixed emotions, like I said, I guess you did the best job talking about the version of the X or whatever. It's one of those, like, I can't see her just blow up right after, or glow up right 2 days after we break up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, absolutely.
Like, we broke up 2 days ago and she got a $500,000 job doing doing nothing the next day.
And the thing is it's somebody you're like, I never thought I could be happy without her. But then you see her and you're like, you're happy. You're legitimately happy for her. And that's how I feel for Coach Pitino. And he will be at a Power 5 school. I mean, like, at some point, or a Big East school.
You don't think he finishes out of Iona?
No. Once is all it was going to take was for schools, because I think UCLA crapped the bed by not hiring him. Like, I think UCLA absolutely blew that one. Like, that was a perfect fit for them, and they went with Mick Cronin, and now they suck. So, I was going to I think a team like Seton Hall, or a Seton Hall or a St. John's, or one of those that do open up there in the Big East, and I said Power 5, but in basketball I count the Big East. Really, I think there is kind of a Big 6 in basketball. Mm-hmm. But I do think when one of those open, I think once people saw him coaching back in the States, and now you watch him, I think that will give people because listen, even yesterday they're talking about, hey, he was exonerated of everything. Well, I mean, like, they go on and on.
Oh, so they did say that?
Like, there was just mention of it,
okay.
Like, yeah, just so.
No, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the conversation. So I do think that that as that continues, somebody's going to pick him up, because I think it will be much easier to do so.
Two questions I want to ask, and one text I want to get to. You already know the selection committee is going to pair us up with Iona. There's always manufacturing drama. That is a text. Let me ask you this: Did the looming sanctions cross your mind watching coach at all? The looming sanctions for the University of Louisville.
Do you know, I think that's one thing I love about this team. You saying that just now is probably the first time I've thought about that in weeks.
Sorry about that, man.
No. Thank you for bringing that back up, though. Now but no, and I mean that, though, because this Louisville team has kind of, there's a purity to watching them, and it's kind of made you forget about, hey, that's still out there, I mean, and we'll see. I like Louisville's argument. I like that Louisville is arguing to just knock it down to a level 2. I do like that. So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things you love about this team and you love about this program right now, is that you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's still out there.
No, actually seeing Coach Pitino out there is like, this is a whole different world we live in now.
Yeah.
I mean, watching a masked up Coach Pitino on a sideline coaching an entirely different team at Iona and Coach Matt, it's like, dude, like I legitimately was like, because somebody said, I mean, I don't want to say they said, somebody either texted me during the live stream or something like that, asking about a show cause or something. I was just like, dude, that's not a thing anymore. Like that really went into my brain. So, and I can say, yeah, Marcus, you're being naive on that one, maybe, but I don't think I've misjudged most of these situations. You know what I'm saying? And it's
absolutely.
Yeah. So it was kind of like one of those, like, nothing. Nothing's a problem. Like as far as me thinking about anything looming.
Right. And that's what I say. I mean, you're not really having too much thought of that, like I said, and then going back to just when you watch this team. And that's why I say, I mean, I stand by what I said yesterday with this being one of my favorite teams so far. I mean, and, you can laugh at that because if all you think about is if you're not passionate about a team and it is just like, oh, well, you can only have a favorite team if they win the championship, I mean, that's fine if that's the world you live in. That's not the world I live in.
Texas says sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. What was it?
If Louisville looks good and gets a win convincingly, what will y'all's expectations for the team be? I tell you what, we'll push that one on the other side of the break because I do want to know if you get that. Yeah, if you get that performance you're looking for, can they still be your babies simultaneously?
Yeah, it's a good question because I got an interesting answer for that.
Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.
Yeah, it's that good. Verno's Pizza.
Verno's Pizza, Louisville-style pizza. Serving Louisville and Southern Indiana for over 40 years. Dine in, carry out, even delivery. No matter what you order, a stromboli, a salad, a specialty sandwich, and of course pizza, you'll never be let down. Why? It's that good.
Verno's Pizza. Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Mark Ennis here telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288 or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable. Bosch Lawn Care.
If you thought you saw the last of the double cheeseburger pizza from Papa John's, think again, because it's back again. And now they're debuting the sequel as a papadilla, a quarter pound of beef, zesty burger sauce and pickles on crispy flatbread crust. Again, one more time. Get a large double cheeseburger pizza for just $12 or a new double cheeseburger papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Again. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
We're proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Focus. Try it today.
Pretty soon, turning on the heat in your home will be a common event. And if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the winter months ahead, it may be time to call who we call at the station, DFH Company. This month from DFH, you can get 18 months special financing and a $1,000 rebate on a qualified train comfort system from the DFH Company. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
After all we've been through this year, Genesis Diamonds wants to help make your 2020 end on a truly magical note with an over-the-top holiday gift your loved one will cherish forever. So we're offering the most aggressive financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase with nothing down. Imagine getting the Halo engagement ring of her dreams for only $100 a month. A diamond tennis bracelet or stunning eternity band for only $50 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for just $30 a month and with no money down. Everything's included. All GIA certified diamonds, all engagement rings, all wedding rings, 3 and 5 stone rings, dainty diamond studs, our new and trendy diamond hoops, diamond tennis bracelets, emerald and sapphire jewelry, Swiss timepieces. Genesis has the best bridal designers in the world. Plus a selection like that of 50 stores combined. Let Genesis Diamond's non-commissioned experts help you find that perfect gift. Buy it with no money down and finance it for 5 years at 0% interest. Genesis Diamond, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open this Sunday on approved credit.
Louisville basketball is back in action tonight as the Cards take on Western Kentucky. And for the most post-game coverage, keep it locked on ESPN Louisville.
To call Molson, misses the third, and Louisville wins 71-70.
Immediately after the game, be sure to join us for our official post-game show with Steve Rummage around 8 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville. We're the first place in town that will take your calls and hear live from Chris Mack. If it's Louisville basketball, we talk about it here on ESPN Louisville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Biggie.
A sec. I got you.
Thank you, Danny Bell, on the YouTube channel. So, Steve, we can't go any further without this shout out. Do you know what it is? I can't believe you weren't ready for this one.
I do. I know what it is.
Right, Brian Hall, give me a time period. Do you want me to start a countdown?
Well, the internet here is kind of slow. That's been the issue. So give me 1 sec.
Oh, man, no.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't have that internet on fiber. It's the greatest thing ever, man.
I swear this computer's like the worst with YouTube too. Just give me like a minute.
That is not already set up in your rotation of regular.
No, it's up, but I can't get it to load the song. Give me a second.
Okay,
right.
so Steve, why he sets that up? Do you have an easy answer and a difficult answer for the expectation changes if you beat at Western Kentucky?
Yes, I do. And no, they don't. Because
this is the most difficult question of today.
Yeah,
well, okay, we'll put it on pause then, Steve.
Okay.
Bree Hall.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
No, listen, Danny. When the music plays, I have to mute it on the YouTube channel. So yeah, you got to cut me some slack on the music.
Sit tight for a minute. We'll be back.
Right. So yeah, that's the one thing you can't get on the mute or on the YouTube channel is people's copyrighted music. So Steve, changes in expectations following a Western Kentucky game.
Yeah, not. I don't think they will for me. As far as what are your expectations? That would be my counter question. What are your expectations for this team?
I don't think I have any.
Right. That's kind of how I feel. So I don't know what to change, if that makes sense. I'm enjoying the process of this so much. And that's why I say this is one of my favorite teams, is because win or lose tonight, I mean, barring just a total, they look like crap, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much with this team. And look, and if you want to just sit around and hate on Louisville, then we're going to drive you nuts with this team. Because look, you can't deny Menlin's not there yet. Malik's not there yet. I haven't really counted Nickelberry because, like I said, we don't know what he brings, but that's another piece that we don't know what he brings.
Mm-hmm.
And you've watched the rest of these guys. So do you believe he could bring something, after seeing these guys? So sure. Sam Williamson, will he play? Will he not? We don't know. So tonight, I really believe, barring a total just meltdown, I think the post game is going to be almost the same either way, with or without a little extra excitement.
Barring
but I think
meltdown.
it's going to, I think it's going to be about the same post game show, win or lose. I mean, like I said, barring just getting blown out or something, I think you're going to go, hey, I'm excited about watching what they're learning. Okay, we saw what they needed to do. Because, I saw somebody on Twitter say this today, and I can't remember who it was, so I'm sorry. But they were like, everybody's talking about how good Bassey is, but it's like we act like Coach Mack's not going to have a counterpunch for Bassey tonight. Like, you don't think Coach Mack doesn't know how good Bassey is? I mean, he hasn't been game planning for this whatsoever. So it's going to be.
He recruited him.
Yeah, right. I mean, Bassey's. And Bassey might be the best big man in the country. He's not the best big man.
Right.
He's top five.
If they talk about you as possibly one of the best, then you're in the conversation.
I mean, so it's like, man, I mean, you're talking, but they know. So I think either way, you're enjoying watching what this team, and again, we don't know the expectation. The expectation could be Elite Eight. The expectation might be get out of the first weekend. We don't know that yet. And that's something that we're learning. But what we know is we're watching them grow every game, and we're finding new things we like about this team. And it's a beautiful honeymoon phase right now.
Does Gambling Steve take Louisville minus the 4.5?
I would not. Listen, if I was a gambling man on this game, there is no chance. I would bet this game.
Is it because the emotions involved?
Oh yeah.
Anything can happen with emotional games.
Yeah, and listen, I have said this all along. This is not a new statement. Marcus has said this all along. In-state schools, I throw it all out the window. I absolutely. I'm watching Carleek Jones right now, and I wish, Marcus, you could go back when he throws that no look to Aiden against Seton Hall underneath when he looks the 3-point line. If you could pay attention when you go back and look to Seton Hall center, the big foreign kid.
I saw him just go.
He dies inside.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
He's just like, I can't believe that.
I actually think I posted it just so people could see
the
way
gosh.
He just broke. It either did that. Or Steve, I put it on a loop, like a GIF loop of him what did y'all expect me to do there? Like I know. He literally died inside when he threw that pass. Like, I can't believe that. But there's in-state teams, man, because here's the thing. Hollingsworth's going to come on that court tonight. McKnight's going to come on that court tonight. Carson Williams is going to come on that court tonight. They're all going to step on that court, and they're going to know, you guys never even offered me a scholarship. Like, so you guys, and it doesn't matter if it was Coach Mack or Coach Pitino. It's like, you didn't think I was good enough to play here. And I'm right in your backyard.
And I'm right here. Yeah. So anytime I play those type of kids, I get nervous. I don't like those games. So yeah,
no. And here's make it even funnier. Imagine running into those guys at a pickup game or something. You know,
yeah,
like just imagine we're all over it. Just happened to be at Bellarmine playing ball one day, and you run into some guys that went down to Western, or some guys that went to Moorhead, or some guys that went to Eastern. It's going to be a bloodbath in there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Does this, but here's the thing. Does Jalen Withers, JJ Trainer, even I'm looking at Quinn Sislinski like, and they went down to Texas and brought you here, and I should have been. Do they have any idea of the intensity level they're going to see?
See, and that's where, gosh, and that's where today's show is so tough, because I have a lot of respect for Western and what they have, but then I started the show out with, this is Louisville. And I do look down my roster, and I've got 6'8", 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'5". I mean, like, we are a big team with a lot of talent. I see 4-star, 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 5-star, 5-star. It's like these are number one grad transfer in the country. But you go down the list of what we have. And I mean, top 100, top 100, top 100, I mean, and I'm looking at them right now as the reason I'm saying that. But I mean, it's one of those deals where it's like, you still have better talent. Like, I mean, Western has experience, and I'm not taking that away from them, but it is still like just talent for talent. I mean,
let me get to this phone line real quick. Alex, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, what's up, guys? But listen, Steve, I had to call because you said something that's very, very, like, what I've been thinking about since I've been watching, because I went back and rewatched that Western game versus West Virginia. Chris Mack, like, I know the Duke game obviously is a game that ended horribly for us, but Chris Mack had an excellent plan of how to stop Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson, he shut him down pretty much all the way up until the last 5 minutes of the game. So, and then you go back and you think about that Michigan State game. And you go back, and last year we played North Carolina. You can just see games where Chris Mack has been able to stop the number one threat and even the number two threats on teams. The only problem that I have is that those teams, for the most part, were at full health, and this team isn't. So, however, different from last year, Chris Mack has just some ballers, like just some straight out, like it's like what you said. He likes players. He recruits players that just naturally love the game of basketball and just can play the game of basketball without being, and then he'll coach them up on the defensive end and on the offensive end. But he just likes natural ball players. And if this Louisville team can, I'll say this and I'll get off the phone. The only part that worries me is that our leading rebounder is a point guard. That's the only issue that I have. And I don't know if it's because that's how Chris Mack has set up his offensive rebounds, but that's the only part that I have is like, the leading rebounder is a point guard. Like we're gonna have to. I don't know if we can have a leading I don't know if our point guard can be the leading rebounder in this game, because I think it's going to be a big man's game tonight. But thank you, guys. I'll take it off there.
Listen, I appreciate the call. I'll say this with the rebounding. There's two things that should make you feel comfortable with Carlik being the leading rebounder, or bring you a little bit of ease. The first thing is, he is not new to this. Carlik Jones has been putting up big time rebound numbers his entire career. So like,
right.
He can scramble. I'll add in a one part B. If I have to listen to another coach tell me that 93% of rebounds are all gathered underneath the rim, I'm going to lose my mind. Coach Crum told me that, right? And it irritated the bejesus out of me, right? But here's the thing. He was so right. He was so right. So like a lot of times, like the size of teams versus teams that are good at boxing out, you can cancel out. I mean, but here's the thing. Immediately people's brains go to the worst times you've been out rebounded. Where does your brain instantly go to, Steve? The worst times you've been out rebounded.
Yeah.
Where does your mind go? Like what?
Do you mean
against an opponent?
Against Louisville? I mean, probably Kentucky games.
No, 100% Kentucky games. And in your mind, you can see Marcus Lee coming off the bench, you know, and just dude, that okay. The times you've gotten out rebounded really bad were like all-time size and athleticism teams that bludgeoned you on the boards. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But outside of that, if you have 6'9s and 6'8s and 6'10s and boxing out is a big time concern for your coach, you don't worry about getting okay, if you get out rebounded, it's because you didn't do your role. You didn't get out rebounded because you don't have the ability to match up with a big guy, right? There was a play that happened. I'm not sure if it was Seton Hall game or Prairie View, and this gives like coaches this certain play. It gives fans anxiety, but it makes coaches want to like give their kids the next day off. And that play is a shot goes up and bounces off the rim and it hits the ground. Fans are yelling, get the ball. But if you're a coach, if you're a player, you're like, that's some good boxing out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there are literally drills you do.
It's got to bounce 3 times.
It's got to bounce 3 times, right?
Yeah.
But again, fans see a loose ball bouncing, and all they see is nobody wants to grab the ball. And we see it as they are boxing out drill work style. So everybody with big man assignments are boxing out their man. They're more committed to making sure their man doesn't get the ball to even getting the ball themselves. So Carleek gets to get a lot of those, just freebies. Because anybody who's guarding a forward or a center especially is really locked in to finding their man and boxing them out. So yeah, you can easily get a Carleek, 8 rebound game just off of that kind of style.
Sure.
Frank, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on mine?
Fellas. I'm going to give you 2 games. One really old school, and another not too old school, but old enough to where people can really relate now and today's generation. This game, the Louisville's playing Western really concerns me. And 2 examples, back in the 70s when DePaul played Louisville, it was a center by the name of Dave Corzine that absolutely, when he played against Louisville, played his way into the first round of the NBA draft because he had like 45 and 27 rebounds or whatnot. Another game was not too long before you got to Louisville, Marcus, and that was Lorenzen Wright when Memphis played against Louisville, and Lorenzen had a monster game against us. And so that's kind of what Bassey reminds me of. I hope that this game does not catapult him in the first round because we are lacking at center. So I'm gonna hang up and listen.
Listen, I do appreciate the call. I do remember the Lorenzen Wright game. And keep in mind, I am from Tennessee.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah, that's right. Gosh darn it, that was a terrible, terrible story. Well, let me make this one into a positive. So when AAU was first kind of getting real deal traction, right? There's a place, and if you've ever been to Clarksville, you've heard of Burt High School back in the day. It was like the Central High School, area. Okay, Burt High School, and then it had a Burt Cobb Community Center, right, where the best basketball was being played at. So myself, Sean, and Trenton, and a couple of dudes over there at Burt got on an AAU team. We were like 14, and we got into a 19 and under AAU tournament. And I think Lorenzen Wright was on the Memphis team we played. We got a couple of buckets against them, and we were like, I'd rather play AAU than high school basketball for the rest of my life. I mean, just because the competition and the basketball was so good. I mean, we got wasted, of course, but it was awesome.
He was awesome in college.
Oh, he was awesome.
He was awesome in the pros too.
Yeah, I listened. Yeah. So shout out. That was fun. Will we get we will, Texas says, actually on the YouTube channel, we will get WKU's best game tonight if we win or keep it close. See, Steve, how many more times can I see win or keep it close before I start turning into old school Marcus? Before I start turning into Marcus, like, y'all better not lose to Western Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Because it's growing on me. The more I try to maintain some level of, Marcus, you know it's hard to beat seniors and juniors. Like you realize how difficult that is. But I'm still like, I got a good coach. I got a good style. They're gonna have to shoot the lights out. They should have to shoot the lights out to beat the Louisville team.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to keep coming out. I mean, the more you read stuff like that, because it's like you have a ton of respect for an in-state school as good as Western, but there's still a piece of you that's like, yeah, but I mean, like, okay, what would Western do in Cameron Indoor? Well, I watched David Johnson eat them alive. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's funny. Even talking to you this morning, we talked about, we keep on saying JJ Trainer. We keep saying, the young guys, Jalen Withers and all those guys. And it's like, we were talking for 15 minutes before we said, we haven't even mentioned David Johnson.
Yeah.
Who is capable of just going for 24 and 12, like in his sleep.
JJ is a guy that won't have any trouble getting motivated for tonight's game. He was going to Western if he didn't come here.
Yeah, I mean that's a guy who probably knows a lot of those guys. That's fair.
We talked about that last night. We did say, is JJ Trainer going to have any kind of extra motive? Is just juice. That's kind of like Texter wants to know, have we heard about Hollingsworth? Assume that Hollingsworth is going to play.
So the injury report said a hyperextended elbow with a sprained thumb, but he's listed as a game time decision. He's going to play.
yeah. Like, you think about it. You get your last shot at Louisville. You're getting your last shot at Louisville.
Well, to go along with what you were saying, it's more. It's a bigger game for Western in that sense. Like, they want Hollingsworth out there because they know they can get by through Conference USA without him. Like, not saying that he's going to re-hurt himself, but they want to get up for this game where Louisville's like, I don't know, we might want to rest Williamson and save him for some of these other games.
Are they going to feel disrespected?
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales. Plus, rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold crab, tap, can, or bottled beer, 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
Make your purchase with the Shane Company credit card and receive a free jewelry travel case while supplies last. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Park Community Credit Union. Be a member, not a number. The University of Kentucky football team has lost yet another player on defense, and this time it comes from cornerback Kelvin Johnson, who has opted out for the remainder of the season in order to enter the NFL draft. The Cats are set to close out their season on Saturday against South Carolina. The new AP polls for college basketball were released yesterday, and Kentucky has dropped to number 20 following their loss to Richmond. However, Louisville remains unranked despite their 3-0 start. WKU head coach Rick Stansbury joined our very own Andy Sweeney on the take yesterday and said he disagreed with the Cards not being ranked.
They're a really good team. I'm surprised they're not ranked in top 25. I don't know if AP polls come out yet. Some people's got them in top 25, some individuals. But I think they're that kind of team for sure.
The Cards and the Tops will be in action tonight at 6 o'clock. Be sure to catch all our pregame coverage on the drive, leading you all the way up to game time and immediately following the game for the postgame show. Meanwhile, Kentucky will also be in action tonight as they'll take on Kansas in the Champions Classic. And a reminder, we'll be carrying that on our sister station, ESPN 680, starting around 9:30. The Louisville women's basketball team, which currently sits at number 5 in the polls, will host number 20 DePaul on Friday at 6:30 in the Yum Center. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that ESPN Louisville is your exclusive home for the NFL this season, as we carried last night's Monday Night Football action between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles, with the Seahawks pulling off a 23-17 win. Also in NFL news, the Ravens-Steelers game was pushed back yet again. It's scheduled to kick off tomorrow. We'll have all that coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville, as we are the affiliate of the Baltimore Ravens. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
After all we've been through this year, Genesis Diamonds wants to help make your 2020 end on a truly magical note with an over-the-top holiday gift your loved one will cherish forever. So we're offering the most aggressive financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase with nothing down. Imagine getting the Halo engagement ring of her dreams for only $100 a month. A diamond tennis bracelet or stunning eternity band for only $50 a month. Or a pair of diamond studs for just $30 a month and with no money down. Everything's included. All GIA certified diamonds, all engagement rings, all wedding rings, 3 and 5 stone rings, dainty diamond studs, our new and trendy diamond hoops, diamond tennis bracelets, emerald and sapphire jewelry, Swiss timepieces. Genesis has the best bridal designers in the world. Plus a selection like that of 50 stores stores combined. Let Genesis Diamonds non-commissioned experts help you find that perfect gift. Buy it with no money down and finance it for 5 years at 0% interest. Genesis Diamonds, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open this Sunday on approved credit.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529, offices Louisville.
I'm Ethan Moore. And I'm Taylor Lynch. Check out Louisville Sports Live, the city's longest-running all-U of L sports talk show, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here on 93.9 The Ville.
All the best local and national guests talking all things Louisville football, basketball, and recruiting.
Every Wednesday at 6 right here on 93.9 The Ville. And follow us on Twitter at Lville Sports without an O live.
And check out the website, LouisvilleSportsLive.net. Go Cards. This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Always gets me pumped up.
Is Coach Davenport going to go into Cameron and upset Coach K?
No, but
wouldn't that be a story though?
Wait a
Very
minute,
first game in Division One.
Did you just read the? Did you just read the comment section, Steve?
No, I read your comment section.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Does Marcus unmute? Yes. Plus 300. No, that's hilarious.
Listen to what just happened, people. This is funny. I hold your thought, Brian, really quick. Does Marcus unmute? Yes, plus 300. No, minus 250. I did not unmute.
Man,
that's terrible. Okay, go back to what you were saying, Steve.
Yeah, no, I don't think they will, but I mean, I would like to see them go in and put up a good showing, man. Go in and play a Duke team nice, close. And again, Coach Davenport can use this. I mean, these are games. Now, I do believe Coach Davenport, now that he's D1, is going to get to the level where he can win games like this. Absolutely. Maybe not if you're in the ACC or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, if you have to play one or two of these games. So yeah. I mean, I kind of wish they were playing UCLA still.
So did they cancel that altogether?
I think.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I do remember we were talking about them just pushing it back a year or something like that.
Yeah, so, kind of wish they were playing. The Duke game may be a little tough, but it's going to be a great experience for them. I mean, hey, and if they can go down there and get a win or two, I mean, they play Howard. I mean, it'd be a nice feather in the cap of Coach Davenport in year one.
Yeah, I'm kind of treating his to like Not because I don't think not because I'm not doing the cute Bellarmine thing. I just think that your move to D1, all your work to get a season going, all your work to get into Freedom Hall, like all this stuff, just any games and any victories, games being played are all just like feathers in the cap or tip of the cap kind of stuff.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, and I say year one, Division I. I mean, Coach Davenport's about as seasoned as you get as a head coach. So, but year one in Division I, he knows the Division I games. So, I mean, I don't think that's anything. But yeah, it'll be. I'll be excited. I'll be looking forward to it, and hopefully checking it out after. Hopefully we get a W on Friday against UNCG, and then we can check out Bellarmine and Duke on around 6:45.
Okay, I don't mind keeping it with Western Kentucky because it seems like the majority of the callers and texters are still kind of in Western Kentucky mood. Who do you need to show up, Steve? Like without being cliche, let's try to be a little more takey, I guess. Who do you need to step up out of nowhere for a game like this?
Well, the obvious answer is Aiden. I mean,
you think so?
Yeah, I think the obvious answer is my big body guy who could maybe defensively, but I don't know how realistic that is.
So you're thinking defense is more of the key to the inside defense is the biggest key
for me. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. Now I will say, let me say this too really quick, because on one hand we talk about so much like, well, how Jalen and some of them guys, how will they guard Bassey? Bassey's got to guard them.
Listen,
let's not forget that.
That was my point. Going into the break, when I started talking about Jalen Withers, he has to guard you if you're playing the 5, or Quinn, whichever one of you guys are quote unquote in the center spot. They're going to have to guard you.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not an easy task for a big bodied guy like that. I mean,
are we going to force them to go 2-3?
That's a Brian Hall question. I don't know how much they do 2-3. You know, I don't know.
Brian, how much zone are they going to play?
Zone. To be honest, I mean, they would be better off doing a man-to-man against Western Kentucky.
No, I mean Western Kentucky. How much zone will Western Kentucky play?
Honestly, they played zone a couple times when I was frustrated, and I'm like, why are you playing? Because they played Northern Iowa before Memphis, and Northern Iowa's got a bunch of shooters, and I'm like, they were stayed in. To be honest, I bet tonight that they'll come out in the 2-3, and then they'll learn quickly that they probably, to match up against a more talented team, that they're going to have to play man-to-man.
Do they normally start out in 2-3?
It differs. I mean, it's all game plan based. Like I said, they went to the 2-3 against Northern Iowa a lot. They came out in it against West Virginia a couple times, but they have some players that can match up, man to man. The one guy that they're a real good defender that you need to keep an eye on is Josh Anderson. He's hands down going to be the most athletic guy on the court tonight. And
did he get that big dunk on us last year?
He is. So he's made the Sports Center top 10 already. I think 4 or 5 times in his career. So he's a guy that he can poster out somebody, but honestly, his best attribute is his defense. So he's going to be matched up.
The way I hear it, if that's a Sam, if Sam plays as one of those, that's your guy. Well, because here's what I'm starting to wonder, Steve, is our threat of getting to the basket enough to force a team to go zone? And do you think we're a good enough shooting team to shoot somebody out of a zone? Because here's the thing. I don't want to let people go zone and then start settling for 3-pointers. Yeah,
see, that's not our identity, man. I mean, listen, we're not incapable of hitting a 3 like Kentucky. I mean, like we got guys like Quinn who can knock it down. David can hit them, but he's not the shooter. Carlik can knock them down. Sam can knock them down. Dre Davis can knock them down. Like, I mean, we again, we're kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I mean, I think you're coming off one of the best 3-point shooting teams you've ever had here. But
that's anomaly.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I think we're a decent 3-point shooting team. Like, I think we can, but I don't want the one thing this team cannot do, because I think their strength is how they actually finish at the basket. I mean, they ton of and ones. We got the mid-range game. I mean, Carleek, David, Sam, those guys, Dre Davis, they like to pull up, shoot that little floater. They can knock that down. So we have plenty of weapons there.
To your point, in a 2-3 zone, I almost think Aiden might eat.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Marcus. Like, no, not even considering Western, just in general, an opponent coming in against Louisville, would you do a 2-3 zone? I after listening to Steve, I almost think that you would, just to kind of force them to try to hit threes at the start, because if I'm Louisville, I'm gonna be attacking the basket. That's what I want to do. I want to attack the basket, and I want to get Bassey in foul trouble at the very beginning. That's what West Virginia did. I mean, he set for 16 and a half minutes in the first half against West Virginia, and I think that they're going to look at that, use that as a blueprint, and they're like, we're going to attack Bassey and try to get him into foul trouble. And you put him in the 2-3, so you put Western in the 2-3 zone, and you try to force him to shoot some threes.
Here's the problem. Here's going to be the problem with 2-3s against Louisville. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to rely on shooting them out. You remember we had a good time with, I'm going to be totally unfair to Coach Mack for a second, right? And you'll get where I'm going with this. You remember when Coach Mack was getting ready to play Syracuse, and the little running cute story was how Coach Pitino, or no, I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. Coach Crum gave Coach Mack some tips on how to beat the Syracuse zone, right? And then you remember we just like totally tore him up.
Yep.
So that game we saw, like when we started getting, was it Dwayne at the free throw? Whoever it was, no, we put Ryan like a couple times at the free throw line, but we put like people who were quick and willing to make good decisions at the free throw line, right? So if you got Carleek out top and David Johnson at the free throw line, or Sam at the free throw line, catching it in the middle of a zone and turning around, I mean, I don't think they can sit in the zone against us. Because here's the thing too. The one thing that we've loved and enjoyed about JJ Traynor and Aiden the most, catch ball, go straight up and dunk it. They don't take a lot of loading up time. The angriest I ever got at Malik was when David Johnson would hit him for a dump down or something, and he would take a long time loading up before he dunked.
Yeah, I agree. But, I also look at something else about those. How many of those are coming from passes from around free throw line extended? I mean, a lot of them. We're really getting that high-low game this year. And it's because our deficiency, quote unquote, is kind of becoming our strength at the same time, because we have guys in there that are at the 4 position that can pass the ball really well. And we're able to, I mean, Quinn, the one Quinn has, he shoots the turnaround, shoots a little high, grabs the rebound, and just dumps it off there to JJ for an and one against Prairie View. Against Seton Hall multiple times, man. You had guys kind of around free throw line extended, dump it down. And sometimes it's Carleek, sometimes it's David also. I mean, so I'm not just putting it that we're getting bigs with the high-low, but I'm just saying, like,
that was the point I was making. A good passing guard at the free throw line can make a quicker decision. You're technically already in the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just, I feel like we get a lot of passes from that mid-range spot too, that will help. So I'm not all that worried about a zone. Okay. Well, zone was what they went the other day. Seton Hall went zone when JJ got that game winner. I mean, they come out in a zone and trapped at the top. And Carleek made one pass to Jalen, who made one pass to JJ, who scored. I mean, they figured it out on the fly.
Listen, I'm gonna get to the phone line, but Steve, after this call, there's a question and there's a fundraiser that you and I have got to start. The basically the most important fundraiser that you and I, or the most important project that you and I have ever embarked on. But I need you to get ready to commit yourself to the said fundraiser.
All right, I love it.
Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, Martin? What's up, Steve?
Chilling.
What's up, man?
I look at it this way. If Carly Jones controls the tempo of this game and does start making those free throw line jumpers and feeding that big guy down low, he's going to really frustrate Western Kentucky tonight. And the country's going to start to take notice of him then. Because Carly Jones right now is probably one of the best basketball managers of the game today, right now.
Listen, Lawrence, I appreciate the call. What Lawrence said, that's why. What are you tripping on, Steve?
Now, me and my son are sitting here, Elijah, my oldest, and we're watching Lamar Jackson highlights from last year, or he had them on, and I turned my sound down, and I said, "Why is Hollywood Brown not any good this year?" Like,
Steve,
Lamar's catching so much flack, and I'm like, Hollywood Brown is not even remotely close to where he was last year.
I didn't want to alert the people because I didn't want to call you out, but I'm like, Steve, you have no idea a radio show is going on right now.
I know. I'm watching this
for the last 30 to 40 minutes, Steve. You have had no idea that this was going on. Okay, Steve, I do need your attention for a second.
Okay, all right, let's do this.
I almost tried to obligate you to this, but
okay,
you don't have to be obligated to this one. I need to find out what's the plan. Steve, do we have to get cardboard cutouts to go in the Yum Center?
To put only if they're going to set them next to the court.
You don't want to have an anonymous spot somewhere.
No, like don't put me up in the last row like Stephen Martin's up there cheering. Like, no, now you're just spitting in my face.
I don't know. That one might be funnier. Just I'm watching ESPN and then they just go to the top last one and you just have me with the L's up.
I know.
From the very last seat in the Yum Center, just double L's up. Marcus just smiling.
Oh man!
Listen, that might irritate the world out of somebody, Steve.
I know. Yeah, that's possible. No, I wouldn't mind having them. Yeah, we need to do that. I think we could do that.
Do we really need to do that, Steve?
Yeah. I think we've done enough for the University of Louisville. That
we should get a donated.
That we could get a cardboard cutout of us in the. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
No, definitely. I mean, you guys sitting here debating whether you want one or not. I'm like, shoot, I'll take one up there in the rafters. Put me up there. I'm good with it.
I mean,
fair enough.
No, it's funny because I thought about the idea and I kind of rolled my eyes. And as soon as I rolled my eyes, I was like, Marcus, why are you rolling your eyes? Like, that would actually be cool.
I want to get one with kind of like crazy eyes. So every time right behind the basket. So every time somebody's shooting a free throw, they just got to kind of stare at me like
that's your ideal. That's your ideal cutout, Steve. A crazy eye, Steve.
Just like look, I'm a psychopath with this stuff. So and put whatever I want it behind whatever the opposing team is shooting. Yeah. So I like that. That's not a bad idea.
Anthony, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, look, I had 2 points. The first point was answering, you asked the question about who needs to step up the most, me personally, and I need y'all guys to critique my thought process here. I thought David Johnson, more to y'all point about taking the team out the zone. I feel that he needs to step up the shooting a little bit more and at the same time attack the basket. So, therefore, it'll be a 1-2 counterpunch to whatever defensive strategy the team wants to come out with tonight. And the second point, because I'm a big analytics guy, and I was thinking about the type of big men that U of L have had in the past. And while they have been great athletes, I don't think that they have been naturally, like, offensively gifted big men. And I think that that's something that we're not used to seeing, and that's something that we have now. Like, these guys don't take too much time loading it up to dunk. They don't spend too much time dribbling. These guys pass good and they catch good very well and just put it in the bucket. And that's all I got, guys. So y'all take care, man.
No, listen, Anthony, I appreciate the call. You made me think of a question that I got last night on the live stream. And Steve, it's like every time Carlik makes a good play and we're really, really excited, and then somebody says Peyton Siva, right? And I have this natural reaction to get mad, right?
Sure.
I just, it's like you're not allowed to even say stuff like that because you've seen the final result of Peyton Siva. But
absolutely,
if Peyton Siva was Peyton Siva playing like Carlik the beginning of the senior year? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Probably some pretty close.
Right. So here's the thing. Somebody either text this to me or sent it on the stream. They likened Aiden to Gorgie, and I got so mad. I got so mad instantly. Right?
Where did I see that?
You may either lie. Okay, well, if you saw it too, then it's making its rounds. Somebody sent that message. I got so angry because you're not allowed to use Gorgie's name.
Yeah.
And then I thought about that Seton Hall block. And I said, that looks exactly like Gorgie.
Mm-hmm.
How the ball just left, and it was like, how did he get up so quick and get that block? That's the block Gorgie would get. Like, you see it go up, and you're like, come on, Gorgie, like, get it. But all of a sudden, he's boom, and he's punching it against the backboard. And I'm like, yeah, and we killed Gorgie in the beginning. You know,
I don't know that we killed him. Gorgie, there's a big difference. Aiden was a little bit of, he was kind of highly touted coming in.
Right.
Gorgie wasn't.
Okay.
Gorgie, we took, I think that's the kind of the difference there. Why it's tougher to.
And I say we by the public. I don't mean me, because I'm like, dude, no, he can help.
Yeah.
You know?
Gorgie come in almost as a side piece to Justin Coleman, like out of Huntington Prep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And we Coleman never got here. So, being ineligible grades wise. And then we're kind of like, well, we're stuck with Russ and Gorgie. And then Gorgie got elevated. I think he did end up getting elevated to a 4-star by the time he got in here. So, maybe that's why if Aiden was a 3-star guy, I think we would be like, yeah, that's a nice pickup,
Okay. But in hindsight, are you allowed to compare Aiden's ability to a Gorgie? Or is it still too uncomfortable?
No, it's absolutely uncomfortable because Gorgie as a freshman was putting Terrence Jennings on the bench. Like,
okay.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm like, no.
How do they compare in size?
Now, if you want to see, probably close. Gorgie's bigger than him. Gorgie was a big dude. Like,
and see, I didn't know if Gorgie was 6'10", but 7 foot, like wingspan, like those crazy numbers. Like, Gorgie might have been more wingspan than
he might
actual
have been.
height.
Yeah, he was a big guy. But yeah, I don't know. I think that I could get the comparison.
Yeah. I just, it made me,
because you're getting cut all up right now. Like, you're going to be all over 3-6 right now.
Listen, that's my second,
Mitch right now.
That's my
just
second show, Steve.
It's just like, all right, 11:20, 11:21, 11:22, 11:23.
Anybody want to hear me? If you like the show, you listen to 3 to 6 too. Like,
Marcus says Gorgie Zhang. Like, that's what their sound sheet's going to look like here in a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah, but I get your point.
Yeah. And again, I'm saying top, ceiling is ceiling, like, be how. But listen, both of y'all today are in another world.
What's going on?
Brian was dead, like deep, dead, dark, diving into his phone. And I'm looking at you, Steve, and you're looking at the TV and felt like, oh, yeah, huh?
Oh yeah, I know. Just like, well, I mean, listen, my co-host's over here comparing Gorgie and Aiden to Gahan. So give me some credit, all right?
Well, I'm actually looking up Gorgie's recruiting rankings is what I'm trying to look up right now, because so it looks like he's rated as a high 3-star.
Yep.
I don't think he ever got to a 4-star. He might have.
He might not have. I mean, I thought he ended up getting somewhere there on Scout, getting a 4-star, but I mean, he might not have. I mean, and if not, then,
okay, put it this way: would Aiden have been able to contribute earlier in Coach Pitino's style?
Probably, but I don't think Coach Pitino would have recruited Aiden.
Why not?
He's not a shot blocker. I mean, he's not a big long. I mean, like, he's not what Coach Pitino liked. He doesn't shoot the ball well. I mean, like, I think part of me thinks Coach Mack went and got Aiden, and I think part of me really truthfully thinks it had a lot to do with his ranking, and I think it was a nice feather. And now you know, we're seeing what he's got, and again, he's probably going to end up, I mean, he's going to be a 4-year guy. So I think, you know, it's one of those things where you're just seeing, I mean, the word all along was he'll be ready to go his 3rd year. So anything he gives us this year is a plus. And I mean, I like what he's given us so far. I mean, I think he's done well. I mean, for the most part, because I had very little to no expectation for him this year. And when he's in the game, I mean, I think he's pretty productive. I mean, the up and under move he made in the last game was
that's what I'm
impressive.
saying. Like, maybe I'm still just like, I'm just not as convinced that, okay, I think everybody was swayed by the rankings a lot, and I wasn't, but I still thought he would be able to catch up to the speed quicker, you know? So I'm still thinking he can give us a lot more than he's given us. Listen, again, a couple of these plays that he's made have been very impressive to me. I know he's in the doghouse, and I know what it's like for good players who screw up on the coaching part of it to get in the doghouse, even though they're really good. They really could give you a lot, you know, a lot more contribution.
So real quick, 247 has a different. 247 does have Gorgie getting up to a 4-star. Got him as the number 44 player overall in the country. Aiden Gahan was a 4-star, 55 overall in the country out of his class.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jeff, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, guys. I kind of like the comparison as the way you guys are talking about Gorgie and Aiden on this, because, you know, a lot of people forget when Gorgie first got here and first started playing for us, this is the same kid that didn't know that offensive fouls counted.
That is pretty funny. That's a great story.
Yeah, and I mean, when Gorgie got here, he was kind of like a toothpick. I mean, he's 6'11" and he weighed like under 200 pounds.
He was still an adult, though, man.
Oh, no, but they put, Coach Ganong worked with him and put a ton of weight on him and, you know, taught him to use his body a little bit, and he got better. I think here with Aiden, we've got a guy that, you know, right now he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane a little bit, but, you know, they're trying to coach this kid and get him to use that body that he's already got. And, you know, I think with you know, experience for this guy, that he's going to be a great player at some point, but, you know, right now he's just learning. You know, he's played in different places and stuff like that, and stuff happens. And you know, you give a guy a couple years. I mean, I think Gorgie was here 4 years, and you know, there was a vast difference from his first year to the last year and the stuff that he would do. And then, you know, he'll give you 16 million reasons a year now
right.
about how good he is.
Right.
So, you know. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys.
Jeff, no, I appreciate the call. He stayed. He was 3 years, right? Gorgie was.
Yeah. He left after his junior year. So I mean,
that's awesome. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, there was a difference with the two. I mean, as far as even body size. I mean, Aiden has come in a little more prepared physically. I think Gorgie came in much more prepared mentally.
10 times, 10,000 times ahead in the adult, you know, an adult maturity world.
Absolutely. I listened to an interview. I remember listening to an interview from Gorgie after his freshman year, and he was already breaking down, like, if I go to the league my junior year, he was like, I mean, he was at captain's quarters, and he was doing an interview, and he was like, if I sign one contract, he's like, and I save this out of this, he's like, for my second contract, I say this, he's like, I only have to play in the league for 7-8 years. I mean, like, he was talking about that, and it was like, okay, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get uncomfortable with the comparison.
Yeah,
I get the comparison because I almost want to just enjoy what Aiden's doing.
And you naturally, here's the thing too, like it. I don't like to make the comparison start getting irritating because, dude, like when you're talking to another Louisville fan or somebody locally, you pretty much have to compare it to the most notable players, as a starting point. What am I looking at? This is not real. What? Wait a minute. There is not a Disney movie called Safety with a team that looks like Clemson.
Maybe.
Brian, you get on YouTube and you see if there's a commercial and it's a Disney movie. It's called Safety. And if you see that, we're playing that on this show. Steve, I just looked up. And I thought I was watching ESPN, and I was like, he doesn't look like he plays for Clemson. And I'm just watching it, and I'm literally watching a movie
of Clemson.
Yeah, it's worse than that. It's worse than that Nike Duke commercial, that propaganda machine that we saw. Joe, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, Marcus, your eyes didn't deceive you. So that movie is based on, I forget what year it was, but overall it was a safety, hence the name, that played at Clemson, and the kid's parents died, so he had to take his brother. He took his brother in and brought him to school at Clemson, and he helped raise him and stuff like that. So that's the premise of the movie. But yes, he played at Clemson. So I guess
terrible people up at Disney, huh, Marcus?
Yeah. So I get your point there on that, but it is it's a good story, it looks like. But I definitely missed probably most of the show today, so maybe I'm definitely hitting on stuff you already hit here. But I'm sure you guys talked about the game tonight for Western. To me tonight for this game, and maybe you guys said this, but I think this is a game where they're really going to miss like a
got a 2-minute trailer on it if you want it.
Kid. I guess you guys were talking about a Gahan. I don't know how much time he's getting in there down in the post, but I guess tonight, man, this is going to be one of those iffy games. I think it's going to come down to, it's going to be pretty close. You think Bassey's going to get his? I guess the key would be not to let those other guys get theirs. So, kind of pick your poison, but I would try to keep those guys off again, having big games outside of him. If you can let him get his and do that, I think Louisville could win. But I did hear one thing talking about Gorgie and there ain't no way those guys are on the same planet. Am I missing something on that? I think I think Aiden and Steve, you just said this a few minutes ago, I think, but I think by next year or year 4, he's definitely a 4-year guy. Maybe by year 4, maybe we would start to see some kind of production that we really want out of that guy or that we wanted. But again, am I wrong? This guy just started playing basketball like in the last 3 or 4 years. Definitely a huge project, but I wouldn't expect nothing too much out of that guy until another year or two. That's just my thoughts, man.
Appreciate
you guys have a good one.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, like I said, if you didn't catch that full conversation, no, I wasn't saying that. I'm you see why?
No, you're done. Like you might as well.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about people who don't know nothing about basketball talking about my, trying to come up with an example of a player somebody might know. Like, you think I care about that? Listen, I'm out here talking bad about nice stories and Disney people, and and I feel like a horrible person. Last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville.
For over 25 holiday seasons, Cox's has stocked your seasonal favorites and the best gift sets around. With multiple area locations, we make it convenient to buy what your friends and family really want. Happy holidays from Cox's.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
LeVar Ball is going to call up Michael Jordan. What's going on with my son?
I'd pay like $2.99 a minute to get to listen to that phone call, wouldn't you?
God.
Jordan doesn't call him back. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like Jordan
No.
LeVar back.
You're wrong. Jordan wants to take that phone call. He can't wait to call LeVar Ball like 300 times.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288 or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable. Bosch Lawn Care.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
We're proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Phocus. Try it today.
Steve Rummage here from 93.9 The Ville, and I want to tell you about Vitality Wellness and Weight Loss. Vitality is a safe, effective weight loss program that is tailored to your body. With Vitality, you'll get a personalized food list and supplements based on your needs. Vitality is science-based, and in your first visit, you'll go through a complete body scan and be assigned a personal specialist. In the first week, I was down 16 pounds. So go to vitalitylouisville.com or call 502-442-2117 and let them know you heard about it right here from Steve Rummage and 93.9 The Ville.
Here's what you missed on The Diener Show.
Are you going to buy the twig from Crate and Barrel? The lit twig?
I might just do it just to tick you off.
Dude,
like, I don't think it's as bad as you. I mean, I think it's a little overpriced, but I don't think it's like, I think it's a nice decoration.
This will be the worst purchase since the coolest.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7.
Louisville basketball is back in action tonight as the Cards take on Western Kentucky. And for the most post-game coverage, keep it locked on ESPN Louisville.
To call Molson, misses the third, and Louisville wins 71-70.
Immediately after the game, be sure to join us for our official post-game show with Steve Rummage around 8 o'clock on 93.9 The Ville. We're the first place in town that will take your calls and hear live from Chris Mack. If it's Louisville basketball, we talk about it here on ESPN Louisville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
station. I guess since this is one of the last conversations we're going to have in the football department, seeming like the Wake Forest game is up in the air. Do you expect one more game to be played, Steve?
I don't know. Coach Satterfield sounded last night when he made the comment on his radio show that said that the date and team were both up in the air. So, a lot of rumors going around. Duke's a name that's been thrown around quite a bit as a possible. It's going to be interesting.
Do you want that last game?
Well, I'm interested to see what Louisville's take on is. I think Louisville might think they're getting a bowl game. And
you mean because they feel like they're just one of the schools that would participate when a lot of schools don't want to.
When a lot of schools won't. And I think that is part of the reason you're seeing Louisville kind of like, hey, we don't really want the 19th. We don't want to play that close because we feel comfortable that because it wouldn't be that far-fetched that a bowl has talked to Louisville and said, hey, we're interested in taking you. I mean, you saw like the Gasparilla Bowl had a potential matchup between Louisville and Kentucky, or something. And it wouldn't be that far-fetched for a bowl to say, hey, look, we've talked to a few teams. They aren't interested in our bowl. We're trying to have a bowl. I mean, and again, this isn't me trying to be a swaggy Louisville fan on this or anything. I mean, It might just simply be out of necessity that, hey, we don't have enough. We want to have a bowl game. We don't have enough teams that want to play. And Louisville saying, well, we're interested, So I think that's why you're seeing a little bit of the Louisville kickback on the 19th game. So now how will that work out? I don't know. Will they play somebody in the 12th or so? Because that would probably be the date where they were looking. I would imagine bumping that up a week. So I don't know. We'll see. But we should know something here soon.
Okay, this is what I say about this one. If they do still want to play this last game, if they do still want to play a bowl game, I can't tell you how proud I would be of them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That would almost say 10 times as much as far as Coach Satterfield and the building of the team you got going.
Well, especially when your rival coach yesterday says he's asked that, will y'all take a bowl game? And he's like, I don't know. We'd have to check the temperature in the locker room. That sounded like, I don't even know if they want to play again. That sounded pretty terrible.
Yeah. Think about that. A team with this record, you getting them to still, because here's the thing. If they don't want to play as a team individually, they will mass opt out. They will mass go to the coach, and you would know. We would know as a public that they don't want to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you if you still could have them locked in to sit out 2 weeks and play another game, or like I said, if you even get an opportunity to do the bowl game, because again, you still have to remember. They've been getting these sticks shoved up their nose all season long. They've been quarantining basically from the rest of the world. And here's the thing, let's call it what it is. Young people at that age are not they don't have houses with kids and wives and stuff to do when they get out of, you know what I'm saying? They don't have stuff to do like adults who sit there and everybody just stay at home and stay in your house. Yeah, well, you got a wife and kids, and you can do that. You know what I'm saying? These kids don't. So the sacrifices they have to make to keep that they've had to make to keep football going this entire year is crazy. And if you can get them to say, okay, well, we're gonna keep this going another month. You know what I'm saying? Just to play 1 or 2 extra games. It's like, man, that would be an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. So I'm hoping to hear that they want that. And I'm hoping they hear, because I think obviously any extra practice we can get is not a bad thing. I mean, especially with a lot of young guys playing more. So hopefully that's something that that is true, and that maybe they do get get into a bowl game and get an extra few weeks.
Right. Listen, Texas says, I can't believe Marcus just compared Aiden to Michael Jordan.
That's what that. Listen, by 3, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, get ready for my live stream if something irritates me. you might hear a little different version of me. Why do you think Coach trying about playing good teams? I'm just trying to clean out the text line. So yeah, I wouldn't be okay with the mass opt out, but
yeah, right.
Listen, opt outs don't surprise me, but guys fighting through it, because at this point, like, there is fatigue. There is a season fatigue. Here's the thing: people opt out, Steve, when seasons are normal.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Like when you,
especially bowl season.
Yeah, right. Listen, between bowl season and I haven't been getting that much playing time this season, and just all the things that make a regular team, like, just listen. We had the Heisman Trophy winner a couple of years ago, and you could tell they were halfway opting out at the end of that season after you lost to Houston.
Oh, I know. No, it was there was a lot of. I mean, I don't think he was
right. No, but you get my point. Like, a regular season that doesn't go good, kids quote unquote opt out.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
So anybody still willing to stay inside these sports parameters to keep playing sports is like.
But again, I think that also speaks to, or not speaks to, but kind of shows how many young guys we have, because I think that a lot of these young guys, I mean, you're not opting out. I mean, if you're a freshman or a sophomore, like, you're not opting out. Like, dude, no, I'm getting my shot here. Like, I'm getting some game minutes, man. Get ready for next year. So, and Louisville doesn't have a lot of guys. I mean, look, could a Des Fitzpatrick say, all right, I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and go to, I mean, around bowl season, Sure. Could a Tutu Atwell even, maybe they say, it's time, I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready to, because when I train for the NBA, I don't have to do a lot of this stuff, or the NBA, the NFL, I can move on from a lot of this stuff,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think that could happen, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, Louisville don't have a lot of those guys.
I did not watch the game last night, but I looked at this is how sick I am. I looked at my Twitter and I saw Megatron was trending, right?
Yeah.
And so, of course, first thought in my mind is, yeah, just pick Megatron back up on Detroit and let's finish the season.
Golly, man.
So listen.
Yeah.
Out of the side of my eye, I read Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz told DJ Metcalf, I was in Detroit with Megatron. You're not there yet.
Yeah, that's funny.
That did make me laugh when I saw that.
Yeah, DK Metcalf's he's an odd dude, because like, he was one that, like, I was watching the draft and like, I was like, maybe I am as smart as these guys, because he's just
different,
falling. And I'm like, did nobody watch him? Like, I mean, did nobody see him? Like, why in the world would you not have taken him by now? I mean, he fell to Dallas, and I was like, oh, that's it. DK Metcalf. This is obvious. Yeah, I don't care who you got. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that was kind of a surprising fall in the draft there.
No, it's starting to get uncomfortable, because like the world of social media is starting to like put everybody's like general knowledge of something like on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
So now I'm like, wait a minute. I watched you draft and I watched you skip over this guy, and it's like, I really don't know if you know anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's been a lot of that going. So sometimes, like, when again, I don't do that with the coaches, but with evaluators, I'm like, are you just reading somebody else's evaluations and just pawning it off as your own, or what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or doing the hindsight 2020, because that is a thing too. Like, it's always easy to say, oh, what was Portland Trail Blazers thinking, Sam Bowie, like those things are really easy to do hindsight wise, but some like the DJ Metcalf is like, ugh. Or
right.
DK,
No, absolutely. Do you know we have a 1:30 IU Texas basketball game too? I might check a little bit of that out, man. I mean, there's some decent basketball on today. I mean, if you're a college basketball fan, starting at about 1:30, you've got a day full of stuff here.
I did not know they were playing.
Yeah, the Maui, right? Not just about an hour from me here in Asheville. So Maui Invitational.
Why don't you just go to Asheville, Steve?
I know. I could. I mean, just about an hour. Head over there.
Just go hang out for the day.
And but I mean, you got IU Texas today, and then of course you got the Champions Classic tonight, and then I mean Louisville Western, and then there's another game actually before Louisville Western. I can't remember if it's maybe North Carolina Stanford. I mean, there's some good basketball on today. I mean, if you enjoy college basketball, or you've been longing for a day, I mean, you could really sit down at 1 and not be done until about midnight.
Look, just go to Asheville. Pull up at Uncle Rudy's house and hey Cam, what's good? Listen, take a look, go to the back, take a little batting practice in their home batting facility. And, and then he'll invite you. You can go bowling in the indoor bowling alley they got.
I could honestly, I could probably go to his house, do things, and he wouldn't even know I was there.
Right?
Yeah. I could take Eliza out. Hey, we're gonna go bowling and go.
Yeah, Steve somewhere on the compound. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Do you know WWE? Have you ever heard of Edge?
No,
you've never heard of Edge?
I'm
the wrestler.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who it is, but I know I've heard of Edge.
Okay, well, yeah, he's like a 11, 12-time champion.
But I wouldn't be able to identify Edge.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he built a big place in Asheville. That's where he settled down. A lot of people do, man. It's beautiful over there. But I went to the Biltmore house. I know we're closing down here, but I went to the Biltmore house.
Yeah, I know Edge, Steve. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been able to say, oh, that's Edge. But I'm like, okay, I know you're talking about.
But I mean, and when I walked around to like the Biltmore house, I'm like, what would I do with all this space? Like, I just, what do? Do you just run from one end to the other and just?
You probably do a couple times.
I'm just jogging through the house,
but you'd be like Brian.
Yeah,
just keeping the body warm.
Yeah. Like, Brian Hall, a place like that, I'd be like, I don't know. He just runs around here.
He's somewhere on the compound.
I just pay Brian to live with me, and every once in a while you'll see him jogging past.
He pops in, he pops out.
There he goes.
Yeah. All you gotta do is corner the market on the entire railroad industry, and you can buy your own.
Oh yeah.
You just violate every antitrust law in history, and then just
that'd be perfect. And have a college named after me and everything. It'd be perfect. So I'm gonna be locked in, man. I got college basketball today. I think I'm gonna watch games, man, all the way up until Louisville Western, and then I got that post game.
Well, I guess I'm assuming it's going to be Mark Ennis doing his regular pregame.
Yeah, I believe they're still doing the drive. That's going to be considered the pregame show, leading you all the way up to game time.
That is fine. I probably will go live about an hour before myself, just to have a little fun with the streamers, not the terrestrial radio listeners. You enjoy the drive on 93.9. My second show will come out on 680, 3 to 6, of course. Might do a little game watch. Let's go, Louisville. Like, come on, I'm nervous, but I don't want to be nervous. I don't like to be nervous. I want a good performance. I know Western Kentucky wants this game so bad. Is Sam going to play? Sam, yeah. Is Sam going to play?
Sam, you got 6 hours. Get it right, bro.
Listen, cold pool, sauna. Cold pool, sauna.
Heard cortisone helps with that, too.
Brian just turned into what's my coach's name, Steve?
Bud Kilmer.
Bud Kilmer.
Bud Kilmer.
You put that needle in him. What he say? I'll break it. What?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember. Yeah.
What did he threaten to do to him if he hit him with that needle?
It was something because it was Wendell. It was the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah. or no, it was Billy Bob. Billy Bob come in.
Yeah, you're right.
I swear to God,
I'll do something to you. Big days with Marcus Maven on 939 The Bill.